Appreciate it,
for
guys.
this game. A really good play. Like,
Let's get it. Let's get it.
Really helped these guys perform. Looking at the draft, however, this is kind of what
Gambit
we
is
expected
still
it to be
banned.
more like, right? Like,
Well, it looks like we're gonna have both.
more of a White Fox priority, so you don't
Looks
have
like we're
to
gonna
team up with
see
Luna,
both
but
teams
Invisible Woman
running
is going to
the
be protected
Devil
instead
Dinosaur
on the side of
Ooh.
Lions, which are the top
This would be a
seed.
lot of fun.
Which, like I've mentioned before, Invis is not as strong in the meta due to that bleed that the Dino gives, making sure that she cannot go invisible. And the double jump, you're able to actually chase after her, and that invisibility is such a huge part. And we might actually get a one-sided Invisible Woman, as a big part of the core Vanguard line of Alter is running the Dino and the Captain America, and maybe some variations around that. So we'll see what the style would be from the Lion squad. And these are two teams that have new additions to their Vanguard line, and we're entering a whole new world when it comes to Vanguard with the addition of Dino.
It's going to be that last band of Invisible Woman. So you're right, one-sided, both teams having access to Dino. Really is like a case of, like, we saw a lot of priority from this from Lions.
Yo,
before with
Shy!
Invisible
Appreciate
Woman.
having me
Like,
tier 1 sub, my
QB
friend.
and
How you
Rex
doing?
are both really good, like, strategists to work with. You've got the copy too. But one thing that they were
Oh,
consistently
yeah. I'll
going
move
for
my
was
fat
like
head
invisible
after, but
boundaries as a
I'm
way
not-
to try to
I can
catch
do it
the
now, I
enemy
guess.
as they were disengaging. Because you have the slow on the radius, they're like, we're going to plant this invisible boundary on top of their backline, because they're going to be like, oh, I need to get out of here. They're going to be slow, they're going to be caught out, and that means that that dive could be a little bit more like existing. Like, this Lions team want to play dive, they want to play pacey. It's whether Alter Esports try to dedicate to triple strategist more, or whether they want to try and go for something a bit more suited to brawl.
No,
And I think
after
I look
this
towards
weekend, there's
the
going to be
big
games
battle
every
leaders, if you
weekend
will,
until like
cores
the beginning
these
of.
rosters, Ziad and Team Captain. These are two people that have really done
I don't
everything
know.
for
You
their
have to look at the
rosters.
schedule
Now
actually. You
Ziad
type
deploying
exclamation mark
Newport,
MRI for the
Team
schedule,
Captain,
but
I
you
mean,
have to
flexed
do
literally every Vanguard
the
under
normal.
sun, but
You
wants
have to
be
do
able
the group
stick to his
stage for
comfort
stage
picks.
one.
I think
Then you
that
have to
Frankie
do
Boxing
the
really
playoffs
just
for stage
complements
one,
Team
and then after the
Captain really
playoffs,
well,
then it's
and
going
is
to
able
be
step up
a
as a very vocal
international
player, which I
land
think
event
Alter
where we don't know
Esports
where it is
need
yet,
that kind
but I
of
hope it's going to be
structure.
somewhere
But
fun. I
Lions
really
have
want to
been a
go to another
unit
land.
together for
I
a
love
while,
land
so
events.
we'll see how they pair with
Okay,
Ziad
anyways, let's get this.
to
Come on.
kick off Celestial Husk.
Frankie Boxing going to be on the Dino, Team Captain on the Captain America.
Once Jay3 votes for your team to win, there's no losing,
over
chat,
on Peps
so.
on this map in particular too, where they played more of like an aerial combat, but this one very much down on the ground. Frankie Boxing hunkering onto the objective, and you can just sort of see that the rest of like the Lions, Ziad is going to be playing alongside Gainer in this one, so it's like Teller that's going to be on the bench here. A bit of a change around, but Gainer is going to go and try and onto the dive composition, and Satan, Black Cat, interested to see how he does.
The Dino, I mean, there's a style with the
But
Captain
thank you
America
for 200 bits. Appreciate it. We got an Ignite bingo card from Bebe for you. I'll check it out in a second.
Really anchors the objective, so this first cap is going to be very important while the Lions are already suffering a lot of damages. Rex is very low. Whoops is behind on the Star-Lord, and this is his moment to shine and also fade back into the shadows. And Alter, have they made enough space? Have they made enough of a splash to get the first cap? Still being recontested, and that's the beauty of having Gainer on the Venom as that substitute now stepping in. Backhands Exo. So hard to be able to nail down to Loki, but brought back to life thanks to the Rocket Raccoon. Mostly left in a 6 versus 6.
We're gonna see a
but
lot
now
more
Rex
what Black
finally
Cat
gets
players. I'm scared,
executed.
man.
Such a victim of all this damage that Alter has been putting out, and surely that means a cap now for Alter.
Yeah, they've gone for more like offensive capabilities.
Oh,
and no
what did they
ultimates
say?
Naturally needed, right?
What
like,
did they
they're
say,
still
chat?
building them up at the early point.
Did
Now
they
the team
say-
is running a
Oh, that's a
Deadpool, so
cap for
it's the
Alter?
fact that they're able to take
When
this
you
objective
guys say
and
there's a
build
J3
up
curse,
a good
but
amount to the likes of a Yan
J3 said
Amplifier,
who's
you've
gonna
got got a Mischief copy
J3 said
available
who's
for
gonna
Exo
win?
2 if
Ah.
he wants to. And then the freedom charge, like Frey, very good
Crazy
sustain
how
ultimates.
life
If the
works,
fight gets
man.
a bit too dicey on point, you can just play around the Devil Rampage.
Crazy how life
Rex
works.
gets CC'd and stunned out from Monarch, who is going to be playing on this Phoenix, can disengage if he wants to, but both duelists having ultimates ready, looking to go for the picks.
And the extra health was already popped from Gainer, so he'll have to take a seat. Maybe Rex needs to pop the invisible boundary just to get them some
Astrono
real
for 6 months.
estate.
Appreciate it, my friend.
Monarch lets it rain into the caves. Lions will be as ever so patient. The invisible boundary from the QB copy, as now the Star-Lord's on the hunt, and Gainer's already popped the extra health. Doesn't want to have to pop the ult.
For 2 months.
Rejoins
How
the
you doing?
team, and Alter
Yes.
just playing cat and mouse, and it's Lions that are looking like prey, as whoops from above will keep Lions trapped, and that invisible boundary will not allow Lions to step forward towards the objective. A good kidnap from Frankie, and Lions are really floundering on what they have to do next. It's a good Phoenix ult to remove
Hey,
one
what
of
was
the
that Vanimal?
strategists from Alter, especially when Exo had ult. So Lions may have an opening here.
Yeah, they might just, but it's the fact that this has taken so long of being a big ult dedication. If you're ulted, it's like, hold off, we've got a mischief, don't use it. We don't need to over-dedicate onto this fight anymore. The Lions, it was the copies over for the invisible boundaries, but it was the nice adjust as the Endsong Inferno came out from Monarch. That's when Rex was able to put down his own invisible boundary in a defensive position, but also allow his team to springboard onto the objective. You can see just how much the Dino is so pesky at pulling people out of those invisible boundaries too. Galactic Legend now going to be used from Lions to see if they can get this advantage a little bit longer. It has to be respected. The combination, the copy even, is going to go over onto the Yarn Amplifier, which means that there's a more offensive capability from Alter. Lions try to go for a pick, but they now have to disengage and they lose 2.
And they just pushed away the Galactic Legend. The big win condition from Lions. Really good bubbles and just protection from Alter. And even despite Rex giving over the Invisible Woman shield to the Galactic Legend, Alter, they just bunker up and now they're on the objective, 75%, one last fight, and you have 2 duelist ultimates from the Alter side. You see Whoops ready to greet them at the front.
Did you vote against Jay3?
And even an alternate angle, I should say, from
if you vote against Jay3, you deserve to lose all your money.
Won't have the ult, but
so far I have 100% chat.
Door, mark him as best as possible. We'll see where the Phoenix lands.
I hate that about Phoenix, dude. Do you anyone here play Phoenix to have that happen? When you're flying, you think you're above that thing, but then you're really not, and then you hit that, like, the object in front of you. I hate that.
Allowing the Lions to stand tall as best as they can, and Frankie is too slow in the midst of that. Whoops is going to try and find a trade. He's above the strategist, but now his second invisible boundary has been surmounted, and Lions should be stable, and they flip the point.
Yeah, it gets picked off at the end there too. Now Lions having control again. A good fight in the end, and you build it up another Galactic Legend for Satam. Don't really have this strategist ultimates. That's the problem. You've used both the copy and the invisible boundary itself. So now it's just for Alter. You're at 98%. You're able to just go for like 1-2 fight. There's not going to be enough sustain. Again, it's still dicey with Death. He has to play in the Venom. He wants to be consistently disengaging and getting in and out as and when he can. But now Whoops seeing if he can just try to go into this backline, find a selective target, and he finds QB perfectly to find the opening.
Oh, and it's so tough to be able to grab a Star-Lord, especially with those iframes. And man, Captain is sick of these clones. He's sick of your backline and Alter. They just surround them, pick them apart. And the Lions are looking like Cubs out here. They still have control of the point, but really for not much
Lions
longer.
Are looking like
Gainer's
Cubs out
last
here.
hurrah will mean they will succumb the cap. Gainer needed to maybe keep contesting until a portal from QB comes through. And they now, okay, we'll have to swap some people around to get the double strategists and him at a distance. Will give a kicking chance to the Lions, but this Dino has been a problem, and Alter can keep thriving thanks to this Vanguard that can anchor as best as they can. And man, the peels from Rex and Ziad pretty solid, and now Frankie has to fall back to the rest of Alter. This is
yeah, the Paul has even been dedicated to now, so it's not even going to be some space like Lions having a point flipped over in favor of Volta means that they weren't able to progress it to 99%. So there's a bit of a window here. Yarn Amplifier is going to be used from Hatro to try and go in for this fight. And Monarch is building an Eye of Agamotto at a pretty good pace. You have got a copy as well that's going to go in for yet another Yarn Amplifier after this, I believe. So yeah, this is just constant like damage that's being put out. It's still, however, Zerx that is able to get the pick. He can't have the end song to try and fight for it, but Alter have given and respected a lot of space.
And this damage boost from the rocket is so strong against these melee Vanguards. You really need
That's
to
actually
have
really bad
a
for
duelist
Lions.
take
Why
care
would you
of that,
flip?
which Alter don't seem to
Why
have
would
the
you
option
flip?
to.
Now you don't have another.
The Galactic Legend zones out the Lions.
Oh no,
Rex. Huge double! The invisible boundary has been removed, and so have the Lions as Alter.
Why would you
claim
flip?
The first round of Celestial Husk.
I just don't why would you
flip? I mean, there's one thing that you could say about like Frankie's Dino. Like, he understands his assignment. There's an invisible woman on the other team. Boundary gets used. I'm taking her out of it. I'm finding a way to just grab her, take her out, like apply that bleed, and just instantly, as soon as Rex got that ultimate, it went up, he went down. It went down. Everything sort of fell through. But I really like that team play of like Alter. They go through the portal. There's very little time. Not too panicked. The point is flipped. Yarn Amplifier to help them get across the point, and then another one straight afterwards.
It looks like the Lions,
and then you're not waiting for the Star-Lord ultimate. You're not trying to bank on like going for this like
so
perfect,
chat,
like,
yes, the
rainy
bans
day
are a little
play.
different. If you guys are not used to these
use
bans,
these one at a time
each
sequentially
team has
because Lions will not have the
each team
resources
has
to
4
keep up
bans
with
and
it.
2
And
saves.
if they do,
you ban
we
for
know
the
how to
other
play around
team
Frankie boxing in the Dino.
and not your team. So if I ban, let's say I'm going against you and I ban Inviswoman, that means I can still play Inviswoman. You cannot play Inviswoman unless you ban that character
So then you really got to give credit to team captain and these moments of knowing when to put the pressure on those strategies and when to trust your new Vanguard that you've just brought up.
So if Invis Woman is banned and you want to save Invis, you cannot
so Lions,
do that.
They have a lot of damage though. We'll see if they continue to run the double duelist. And now Saddam is on the Black Cat. And we've seen a lot of these Daredevil or melee specialists really try to own the Black Cat, but QB gets owned by Whoops as Alter have damage raining in from all sides. And of course you have the bubbles being popped. Ziad is really blocked away from his team as Saddam is still trying to find the moment to shine on the flank, but Alter are working towards that first cap. There's actually both strategists from Alter just got removed. Saddam, now this is the time to step into the spotlight. Basically solo wins that fight, makes it now the third elimination that this Black Cat has, and Alter have to pay attention.
The fight won in the end for Lions. Alter like building some progression here, so they might just stall this out a little bit more. Ends up Inferno's a heck of a dedication though to just try to like keep this going more of like a disengage, but it's going to be right into the center of the fight. You got the Venom that's going to eat up. The Feast of the Abyss is going to be used, and QB's able to IGL pick himself another 2. It's Jeff is needed, but the counterattack has come in, and whilst Lions have flipped this back, they're a couple of players down. And now, like, Alter might be able to get a window. The problem is that they're not the paciest kind of composition when they have the Devil Dinosaur to go in first. So they have to try to, like, regroup. They've got people in this fight. And the dive is really good from Gainer in the backline. It's just whether he can get out or not.
Well, Ziad is by himself. No, okay, he's got QB at the end and can't underestimate what the Jeff can do to hold back against the dive. And team captain, he will be relentless and try to suffocate these strategists as QB has to fade away. And now see who he can throw off the map while Saddam, I mean, he's been the big MVP for the Lions and continues to be what strikes gold for this Lions squad to force a round 3. Alter seemingly dead in the water at this point. Will need to work up towards some ults, and Monarch's going to make the swap.
Yeah, switch over as well, like QB just onto the Jeff, so you don't have the Loki copies, but you do have that symbiotic shenanigans combination in play. And really, like QB, he's the main voice on this team. He's the one that has been called out as being the difference maker to go for these like good timings on fights, how they want to position. They have control of the high ground now, so Alter have to try and respect that. And now it's a good portion of percentage that they've been able to try and get onto the board. Alter having good ultimates, Yan Amplify, Galactic Legend, probably the combination they're looking for. One's going to be used first, but they immediately use Monarch on the other side. It's going to be traded, but the VR back is going to bring in Monarch, so the player advantage is going to be on the side of Alter.
All right, let's see if Alter can be the kings of the hill, but they only have 15%, and Lions one fight away. They slam down with Zerg, so now it's his time to show up, and Whoops has so much on his plate, and he's trying to put Rex in the death note, and all of Alter are committed to the plan. And Exo with the damage boost should be enough, as now people are getting tossed off the map, but just not enough of a throw from the Dino. But Team Captain,
oh my god, the Dino just threw the Jeff off the map, I think. Oh my god, that's awesome.
In this fight, but there's still a gap in the score that Alter have to overcome.
Yeah, it's how much that they can hold on here. Like for ultimates, are you going to try to change up anything more? Only like QB switching over towards the Rocket now, so you don't have that team up with Jeff and Venom, but what you do have is more some like offensive capabilities. They're also maybe feeling the burden now, Monarch being over on the Daredevil, that distance is being like closed up, that they need to go for something that's going to be a little bit more pacier and disengaging these fights. But Alter building up percentage, they have to hold on, let the Devil out. It's going to be used pretty early on in the engagement, but it's a reset. It has to be for Lions. It's crazy. Monarch has cut through all of them.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, the proactivity. I mean, the calling is on point for Alter.
You know, it's kind of wild that, you know, Elsa gets a nerf and gets like deleted from the meta. But here we are still with Daredevil chat not changed.
Fairly inexpensive.
Coincidence? I think not.
Now, how much of this fight is going to keep going Lions' way? They still wanted to try and engage onto this, and now the percentage is getting a little bit more precarious. You've got Freedom Charge and the Rampage that's just going to allow basically this whole running route to come through. Gainer's had so much to deal with when it comes to like being in and out on the Venom. It's too much to deal with, and now it's 85% for Alter.
Galactic Legend, the reses, will it be enough? Lions, oh, Frankie does manage to
this is really insane to me to see as well in pro play, bro. Why do any pro players not shoot the Phoenix ult as well, or shoot the rocket ult, bro?
Out here, but it's just not going to be the case.
It looks like my ranked games, man.
Portal play while the Lions have the rest of Alter stuck at the entrance. Here's a portal to trap Lions forward as Rex may have an invisible boundary to bail out Ziad if he needs it. They'll maybe try to conserve it for round 3, and you can't blame them. Lions, Prophet, and Alter are drowning.
How much can Lions now actually turn this point now? Alter going for the portal play. It was just in time, but Lions having everything set up. And the problem is once they have that positioning, it's so hard to move this absolute colossus on the objective that is Devil Dinosaur. And the way that people were able to play around him, it was just a pace of fights, right? It's just like Alter trying to go very early to make sure that Lions couldn't reset, but they were still able to engage in this fight. And it shows that the fight went so well for Lions, Lemon, because they have 3 ultimates going into this round.
Yeah, I like that they were able to conserve the invisible boundary and just kind of let Ziad run the ship. And it was going to be between Gainer and Teller. And I was maybe expecting Teller originally. Not that Gainer's not a good brawler, but Teller just has more time with this core. And also had a really good Magneto the few times that we did see him, especially having a high win rate on Celestial Husk. But Gainer has been that person that could delay the point so much. And Saddam is solo winning fights, eliminating 3 people, 2 of them being strategists on the Alter side. So Alter need a response, and maybe it has to do with the Vanguard shifting their playstyle and attention to this Black Cat.
It's how much that he's able to find, like how much he's not being able to be punished, really. Like it's been hard, like trading map rounds either side. So it's not as if Satam is just like only a couple of eliminations against him. But you're right, it's how much he can actually get away with it. Monarch is at least a little bit better to get that information and work alongside it. Yeah, an amplifier though, is it going to be used early from like Hatro at this point? You've got the white box now, and so you don't have like the copy. Has to be a little bit more selective on the timing, but here's Satam, the namesake himself. Maybe gets a bit more than he bargained for, but he's not actually giving up these engagements. Now that amplifier is dedicated, immediately taken out from the Ensong Inferno.
And the damage is so scary, and Rex will just try to keep them afloat and steer this with the invisible boundary. Satam towards the back. Alter, they really are terrified of this. They changed their strat line, but the result stays the same.
Oh my god,
yeah. Satam all over Alter, and the first point to Lions.
See how much more stall Alter not going to have the
portal this character
to
might need a
so
nerf.
it's just
Where's
like the extra like 15% that they're able to get on board. The pace that Lions are able to play at though, everything's starting to work together now. It was maybe a little bit of rust, a bit of nerves potentially, certainly for Ziad that's coming from playing MRC for the Lions into stage 1 alongside some of these other players that have been pretty much like the building blocks for the region and the scene as a whole. So now Lions holding a sort of deep hold, getting good information off of the flaming orb from the Black Cat. They've decided to try and disengage, knowing that stuff like Let the Devil Out and Kamiho is ready.
And also Whoops changing over to the Bucky to try and pull the Black Cat, pull anyone, maybe even Gainer before this extra health does diminish. And Monarch, he's sick of their games, and he puts them in jail. And Alter, they are still trying to flip the point though, despite at least getting the Vanguard elimination. They're so worried about this Black Cat. And Monarch, he swapped to this for a reason, to be able to detect where that invisible cat has gone, while the rest of Alter, they put their focus forward from front to back. They go as Ziad hopes to extend what little they have, which ends at 53 for Lions.
Now the swap over again. The Lions not having much more else. Freedom Charge Kamiho still able to sort of sit in for like Alter Esports now. Satam having to completely disengage. Being able to find a lot more space, and like on this map in particular, like getting that information of where these like engagements are going to come in from is going to be like major. So now Monarch has good control of like exactly where this dive is going to come in. Gainer has had a lot of like pressure going onto him to get those timings. Going to go in with the rest of his team onto the high ground, however.
Kind of missed the dive there, but it's the thought that counts. Satam, though, doesn't have to think too hard. Just sends the Black Cat and is always claiming one with them. How can Alter match band for band? But they just can't. They're being suffocated. Ziad is in their face. And, I mean, there's only so much Alter can do then escape. The res beacon will be also taken out, so Alter will have no forgiveness. And Lions just fully take over. They still have to flip the point, and that will mean Lions will get the lead here shortly.
Now, seeing if there's going to be a little bit more of a fight, not really. Like Alter now might be starting to stress a little bit more. It's going to be like getting onto now that the portal might be in play again, but like how many ultimates could you sort of work on in this one? You got Yan Amplifier that might be able to help in these instances. Comboing out with Frankie boxing, it's very close to having a Devil's Rampage. Feels like now for like Zerx and Song Inferno, he knows exactly what the target he needs, but it's going to be a hard area to try and take this. Just trying to burn as many resources as you can, go out into the open, make sure you set up these crossfires as this front to back from Alter Esports is going to be a bit more boxed in, certainly when you you're looking at the clock.
And they were trying to mark where team captain was going, already at half health, and Zerx is just making sure that team captain suffers every step he takes. Lions at now 90%. They have two they have, I mean, 4 ultimates. So it will be at the ultimate clash to determine the map, with Alter starting off well, but it matters who finishes as the invisible boundary is placed. Alter just don't have anything to really match that. Self-sustain of the Dino can only do so much, and Statum does everything once again for Lions. The Black Cat swap since round 2, the obvious MVP here of Celestial Husk, and is just uncontested. Alter have the Black Cat available, by the way, but that was not in their wheelhouse for the first week of Ignite. Lions will claim Celestial Husk.
It was such a good showing from like Satam. Like we sort of set up the like Zerx, looking at him in particular as like a duelist. Certainly now that we're out of this like Elsa meta, clearly, it's now like you saw what is he going to be doing, but it was Satam that sort of took a lot of the attention. And Black Cat, it really feels like from talking to the teams that everybody was keeping their cards close to their chest. 42-5 when it came to like the eliminations he was able to get. He was a constant pain in the backside for
No. It's
and
not over
when we
until
sort of
it's
take the
over,
objective,
chat. That was only,
wasn't
it's a
for long.
best
Lions
of 3.
really
Anything
like to play
could
dive.
happen.
They really like to play
Stop.
at a fast pace. And that
Stop.
addition of Ziad and the way that this team is built
Stop.
from what they did as visions in
Stop.
preseason continues.
It's not
Alter
over.
Still haven't picked
Not
up the
over.
domination map, Lemon. It's still
Not over.
not happening for them.
Well, Lions were
It's not
able
over.
to overcome what started
No.
on round 1 and turn it into
Listen,
a victory, but Alter will have
At
a
the
choice
end of
map
this series,
next
you
in this
guys are going to be
best
like,
of 3, and we'll
Jay3,
find
I
out what
never
that is
doubted you.
after
Thank you for the
break.
free money. It's not over. Not over.
우리에게 달려서 세계 운명 눈이 부신 모든 순간들 지켜내야 해 내게 좋아지려면 꿈꿔도 날 만나 그대들의 승리 완명해 The fate of a
Did you guys hear that? Someone just said Black Cat is something. Listen. Listen right here. Ready? Watch. They didn't mute your mic. Listen carefully.
좋아지려면 꿈꿔도 날 만나 그대들의 승리 완명해 The fate of a birth the world's 운명
Bro, it's my jam. Do you guys know I'm still getting DMCA copyright strikes from months ago of watching watch parties, and now they're starting to hit me with the Luna Snow copyright? Yeah.
Protect your bald king!
Yeah. Self Coffee for 69 months. Appreciate it, my friend. Appreciate it. No, I'm not getting sued by Marvel Rivals, chat. First of all, Marvel Rivals is not the one that's copyright striking me. It's Disney. Why don't you turn off the music? Yeah, that would mean I have to turn off the replay. Fine. Next game in 1 minute and 10 seconds. That's good. And tomorrow is going to be more games, just as a heads up, chat. Tomorrow is going to be, yeah, this is the schedule. So you have 3 games today, and then we're also going to have 3 games of NA. But tomorrow is going to be 4 games, and also 4 games. Also, tomorrow STD is playing. And then we go back to 3 games for some reason on Sunday. So 3 games and then 3 games.
Protect your bald king!
Yeah. Yo, Fox, appreciate the massive prime sub. Miss K Games with a massive 100 bits. Self Coffee for 69 months. Ebert with a massive 100 bits. Yes, I am. And Diaplex for 3 months. Absolutely insane. Franklin with a massive 5 months too. Captain Rogers for 2 months. Appreciate it. Disney is so, I mean, bro, I went to Universal Studios with Emily's brother for his graduation, and Emily, bro, a lanyard at Universal, a lanyard that you have around your
I
neck
knew
or
it
you
would
put in your
happen.
Yeah, there it is. It
$17.
happened.
I knew
Sorry.
it.
I was muted. Sorry, audience. We've seen some incredible Devil Dinosaur plays, but you can join them in the Savage Lands with the Savage Adventure skins available from today. Skins for Lunar Snow, Hela, and Ultron. This is a wonderful set of skins, and there's, as usual, so much amazing stuff in Marvel Rivals for you to jump on in and play your character how you want to play.
No,
it.
it's just
A
the
incredible
STD is
win
not their
for
team
the
called
Lions in their
team name.
first game
It's just
of the stage.
just unfortunate
11.
abbreviation.
Satam on the Black Cat. What a revelation.
And this is why this team identity matters and who is putting the hours where it's not just about Dino supremacy.
Yeah, they're called
but
stick
the
drift. There you go.
real line on this field, and it's Satam on the Black Cat, swapping that to round 2. Just, you know, solo eliminating a bunch of strategists. I did like in round 3 that Alter brought out the Daredevil to try and be able to scan for the Black Cat and just mark it. You don't always have to execute the Black Cat to have an impact. Just making sure that she is watched at all times so you can communicate when she's engaging is still very valuable to Alter, but in the end, Satam was, you know, 21 final hits.
Yeah, right. If we look at the Black Cat, we're seeing a lot of use of the Flame Orb. Them using the Daredevil to try and track the Black Cat does do the same job with a little bit less sustain, but with more flexibility.
Yeah, if you can get the resources and get the cash in order to get them, you just put them in a pocket, it's going to go through the walls and give you that information. So it really is the fact that he just wasn't punished. Like, having the least, like, casualties for your team as, like, Black Cat is, like, kind of, like, scary, I guess, if you're, like, Alter Esports, because you would expect that character to show up more. You want to change up the draft to get rid of them? Is it really that, like, much of a focus?
Oh
for
my
you? Because
God,
it's left
21
completely
final
open,
hits,
looking at the top of,
42
like,
and
the screen with,
5?
like, the
Oh
scoreboard and
my.
stuff. So, like, now I'm really wondering exactly how, like, Alter are going to try and
Yeah,
adjust
but
to
the
this.
bans
They
are
do have, like,
tricky,
the
chat.
map
If you
choice,
ban
so it
Black
is gonna
Cat
be
first, that means you're going to
Convergence.
give
It
the
is
enemy
going to
team,
be,
you're
Convoy,
going to give the
and
other
I
team
think it's Central
gambits and
Africa.
all this stuff.
Yeah, that's gonna be good as we get into our picks and bans. I think it's gonna be an easy adaptation for a team like Alter to be like, well, Black Cat is a problem. Guess what we can do?
Hell yeah.
We could just ban it.
Oh, we're going to Hall
Jalia
of
will be the choice
Jalia.
of Alter going forward. And again, having a really large map where you can activate that Captain America around, make sure he has all the space in the world, which also means more space for any kind of flanker. So it's gonna depend on who's gonna have the double ban initially, because both teams really prioritize the Gambit.
And so, like, I'm curious. I guess, like, one of the things for, like, Jalia, like, from what we saw on, like, the last map especially, like, you look at some of the other, like, engagements,
Mantone,
like, Central
Preacher Massive
Park,
6 months,
like,
how you
that
doing?
was, like, the most popular convergence map to sort of choose from. Convoy, it's going to depend entirely, like, on the teams on how they work it, but it does feel a little bit like, okay, do you want to sort of keep committing to stuff like the Ultron that we saw beforehand? Like, you're looking at a lot of the strategists being banned out and, like, the Dino being protected. At least here, you've got the long sight lines that you can play something a bit different away from these closed-in quarters that Dino wants to be in.
And I just didn't want to not shout out Zerx as well, because my voice going out already. 34,000 damage on the Phoenix. You have to write to home. You got to write home to mom about that one,
let's see
because
this.
21 final hits from a Black Cat comes from that initial damage that the Phoenix is able to provide from Zerx. So I think that duo of duelists looked really amazing on the Lions side, and if they can keep setting each other up for success, that's going to be nice. But what is going to be the situation with Alter? Are they going to triple strat whoops, or are they going to have Monarch on the Daredevil?
One-sided Dino is going to be in the hands of Lions, though, so more ferocious animals and not quite like an evolution chain, but one-sided Mantis, which, yeah, it feels like for Alter Esports, especially when you have a player like Monarch that was playing a lot of the triple strategist setups beforehand, like he was on the Ultron and Mantis, he's going to be on it here, means that you have got the option, no matter what other strategists get taken out in the draft, you still have, like, the combinations in play. Ultron's going to
Do you
make
know
sure that
anything
he
about
can't,
why the
like,
in-game
feast and do a lot
watching
of
isn't
damage in
working?
these
No
instances,
idea, chat.
And Luna's going to be banned out for Alter Esports in case there's a White Fox protect. Lions, yeah, feeling like the
I
Black
have
Cat
no
could potentially
idea.
be more of something to aim for, are going to protect it.
I'm very surprised Alter are not banning the Black Cat here. They must be very confident that from map to map, she is going to be her weakest on Hollow Joliet. And maybe the map pick is sort of that pseudo discouragement of the Black Cat. But they're still going to protect it on the other side just to make sure. And you're going to have the one-sided Dino on top of that. And Alter,
Someone
a
said
big
they're watching
strength
from
of
in-game and
theirs
it's
has
working.
been
Someone
around
also
the
said
Dino.
in-game
And I
doesn't
know
work if
someone
you're
like
on
Frankie
console.
is still trying to be a flexible Vanguard, but clearly a big boon to this team has been improving their comm structure and hoping that they keep their heads in check, as dropping that first map must be pretty frustrating considering it was such a strong start for Alter on round 1, but ultimately falling after the next 2 rounds.
I was gonna say, like, the protect over onto like Luna here means it has to be a White Fox like ban to sort of finish it out. You also have Venom taken out, so Gainer's not gonna have
J3, you
access
got a lot
to
of hair
one of
today,
his, like,
looking
staple
good.
characters,
Enjoy the games.
but also a character that
Are the
is very
bots
good
still
on
like
this
getting
map, as
through
we
chat?
saw
That
very
has to be a
briefly
bot
from,
command,
like,
right?
Like previous engagements on Jellia. Again, thinking of the likes of Trust Me, even though I didn't play it last time. But it does mean that you do have stuff like the Luna Emma combination, and I think if you have
I don't
teams
know,
like
man.
prioritizing like Devil Dinosaur, like anything that's going to be a little bit more like try to get into your backline, there's a lot that team up can bring together.
And this will be potentially the final clash between these two teams for the beginning of Group A, as it is series point in favor of the Lions. And wondering also, has the Vanguard changed? The Vanguard line changed at all? It's really nice to be able to have these substitutes. We kind of saw it during the preseason, being able to interchange people in and out, especially if you have specialists or just different people that specialize also on different game types. Sometimes you have your domination pilled players and otherwise that, but this is the Alter playground in terms of map choice, so we'll see them set the tone on offense.
We haven't seen much Magneto. I can see Frankie boxing on it here, which is like something that he did play a lot of. Like his main character that he was played for like minutes played was Angela, and Angela just doesn't seem to be like even contested when it comes to like the Vanguards to work with. But Gainer switching away from the Venom is going to be on the high ground that Trust Me was on earlier to sort of get this information. Taking a few fires, but Frankie boxing is going to go in for that combination and not even triple strategist actually, 2-2-2, but just with the Mantis Luna. That's a lot of like speed boost to go in for these engagements. And Frankie boxing team captain on the attack looking to go for the dive.
So far, so stable. As again, we're really surprised to see as much Vanguard Deadpool as we have, but Frankie's also trying to scale up the energy, and you have to be really careful how you play Emma in this meta, especially against any kind of charm or things.
How do
that
you
can pull
guys
you out
feel
of
as
position.
viewers
You
seeing
can
Devil
also be the
Dinosaur in
main
pro play?
shield
You guys like it?
provider,
Do you guys
so
not like
Alter
it?
having to fall back on something that's not the Dino. We'll see if that will still be a boon of theirs, as Alter at least are cemented on the point, working on that first pick, and also with the ice wall with the Luna team up, it could maybe block off some much needed heals from Ziad and the rest, allowing Whoops now to just poke and prod as Lions are so far away from the point. Alter able to just keep the poke on, but Lions hope to deny this final pick, but they just have no sustain on this front line. Ziad is basically by himself, and Gainer is elsewhere.
The Black
and
Cat
Lions
is a
need
problem.
Vanguard
I don't
line to
think Devil
keep on
Dinosaur is
this
a problem.
objective,
A lot of
or
people have been
Alter are
saying
just
that
gonna
he's a
cap in
big problem,
front of
but
them. And
if you just
macro-wise,
shoot him, he
Alter,
dies.
all the damage is in their favor, and Lions are cowering in their dens.
These fast like 0.1 takes are gonna be the death of me, but not the death I think of like Ziad that was able to survive for so long. Just the amount of healing output that went into him from Zerx means that there is an It's Jeff available, but how useful it's going to be on this part of the map, hard to really get a gauge. Also trying to like close the distance now onto the high ground as team captain using this one-sided Venom to his advantage. Is there going to be anybody that's like potentially isolated to dive in on? Not quite, but you've taken pretty much all of this second checkpoint, and Lions have to use some big bits of kit to try to break out of it.
And Exo is usually the Luna player on this team, so Monarch will be owning that to try and have a freeze onto Saddam when he does come in. This has been the answer for Alter, to just adjust their composition. They don't need to ban it. They already know what the Kryptonite is. Saddam has to fall back out of the fight for now, so 6v5 temporarily for Alter, as team captain's still waiting for the moment to maybe ult himself, and there's
Holy
someone
shit, that
on
was
the
a
flank.
close-
Alter has to pay attention.
that was a very close call.
And now you have the Soul Resurgence. No Dino, one less Vanguard for the Lions crew, as the invisible boundary will be what keeps the space for this defense, and Alter hope to drag them all out of cover. The Emma Charm claims a bunch, but
Black
Saddam
Cat
goes
killed 2 people
unnoticed
already?
and
Okay.
eliminates 2, including the Loki, who had a dupe. Alter were really depending on this win condition to cross the threshold, and now Alter have to reset.
Yeah, they've managed to reset and still have like Rage of Ultron. It's crazy that they didn't dedicate something like Rage of Ultron is so good in just any moments. Like you can't really get the timing of it wrong, whether it's offensive or defensive. They had it. They were just like, we don't really need it to actually break through here. But Freedom Charge, Calling Card, Rage of Ultron, all available now. For Alter, this is where they struggled on domination on Celestial Husk. It's like, okay, what's going to be the difference maker? Can you rely on like Whoops being the one to do that now that you're playing this triple strategist? Like you're sort of building into it. You've got inspiration from the Mantis, but that's not really going to be enough damage boost now. And then you've got the copy to try to go for something a little bit more with the Soul Resurgence from Exo. Right now, the dive is attempted, but immediately Team Captain has to try and reset, and Lions are going in for the kill.
Yeah, if you can't maintain that 100 Emma energy, you need to swap. You're just not going to be as impactful. So the Magneto hoping to enable as best as he can and be that stable force, but just gets suffocated as now the rest of Lions just run through Alter while the Venom really can't do much about this. Gator is just a champion and Alter are just heading for the hills. And now you could try to hit a sleep, you could try to hit a freeze, but Lions, they're the ones owning this fight.
At least some picks for Alter. Like, this might be a bit of an overstretch for Lions if they're not careful.
Did you
but
do
it's
the
again,
tournament
like, you've got
predictions?
Rage of Ultron.
Yes.
They're not panicking. They lose their Black Cat. Whatever. Like, we're 5 versus 6. We can just hold off. We know how to play around the objective. We don't need to panic. We can take our time. But Rex still holding on to it. Like, it's him going under a lot more pressure, able to sort of dash out here. Now, Calling Card's going to be used. Distance away, but it's going to be quickly closed down from Satam. You've got the Galactic Legend. Is going to be
that's
used
one
on
way
the
to kill
other
the cat.
side.
Okay,
It's
I like
just
that.
For a case of Light Lions, now they use the Rage of Ultron.
Oh, I like this peeling Star-Lord as well to try and deal with the double flankers of the Lions. And now Alter can set their attention forward while Zerx maybe wants to grab that Star-Lord, and that still seems to be the case.
Oh, he dodged
Perfectly
it.
timed from Whoops, and he'll still
Huge
be in the
dodge,
equation.
huge
Soul
dodge.
Resurgence to push Alter over the edge. Maybe Lions off of it, but the invisible boundary should be enough healing, and Alter just will not be able to find that invisible woman around the corner. But they'll
Protect
full
your
send the
ball
house.
key.
It's Monarch with the fate of both worlds to give Alter maybe a winning fate, but they only have Exo secondary, as now the Mantis is not here anymore. Lions have the respawn advantage. They just need to rely on Zia to keep contesting, while Lions just make sure to keep themselves afloat. Alter don't want to overextend, and now they just have too many split objectives, and
Protect
Alter
your
are 4
ball
meters
key.
away, and they fail.
It was also
Let's go
choosing
Lions,
to attack first too, right? So like, yeah, they've managed to sort of run out of steam at this point. Lions holding on for like dear life at this point. You've got the triple strategy set up now with the Ultron. It's Saturn that's just that sole duelist, so there's just so much like sustain. How are you going to find elimination or a pick here? You're probably looking at Frankie Boxer with a Sonic Seduction or one of these dives to bring something. You can see the team captain is like toying with the idea, waiting for people to be in position. You have to look at Whoops having the Galactic Legend. It's that or the Sonic Seduction. It has to be it.
Back on that, and you need someone to go with team captain. He can't die by himself, and now Alter will follow through. They pull the Dino
Oh
in,
my
and
god, bro, that is
not
so
enough,
annoying.
only at half
I hate
health,
Captain America.
and
He's so
Alter
annoying.
has
All
set
he does is
themselves
just
up
jump
to push
around,
the card
never
to
die,
the end.
doesn't kill
But
anyone.
Gator
He's just
is
very
relentless
annoying.
against these strategists. That's why Exo's on the Loki, to just make his job miserable. The dupe comes out from Exo. Whoops is in the back line. Can't get enough of limbs. Lions are still healthy, and the rest of the ults come out from the defense, and it's overtime. Alter need this.
Wait, did
or
they
this is just
copy-
not gonna be a healthy
Wait,
enough
they
of a
low-key
push.
copied
At least
their-
Emma is at 100 energy. Whoops needs to fall
Their
back,
Emma
and Rex
Frost-
of all
oh,
people
chat,
has to be
uh-oh.
the one that sends the Star-Lord packing. And Lions, they just have more sustain, and Alter are out of ultimate options. It has to be heroics from Whoops or the rest of the dive of Alter to finish this once and for all, unless Saddam can 1v6 yet again.
No.
But there's always an answer.
No way, bro.
Healing
There's no
Emma
way.
and
There's
Alter
no way
send
they
it to
actually
point
brought
B.
that back, bro.
Managed
Oh
to clear it
my.
all up, but Satam not using the call.
If you're a Loki player and you accidentally copy anyone but another support, and then you like lose that team fight, oh my god.
But Alter dealing well with it nicely. Frankie Boxer diving in with the Silent Seduction. It forces out a great ultimate from Gainer with the Freedom Charge, but it's just how the rest of this fight was able to sort of go in. Like Whoops is looking really good, has a lot more pressure on him, and Satam now managing to sort of sneak in behind. He's just been completely ignored, I think, from like the Venom at this rate. But now the dive is going to come in on the calling card. He finds the perfect target onto Whoops.
Whoops is so far forward to just play off of a dive from Team Captain, but the Star-Lord is so vulnerable outside of those iframes.
Dude,
good awareness at
these
that
Black
point,
Cat
but Ultra
players
has
who
something
like
more up their
are
sleeve.
buying
It's
things really
redemption and
fast
it's
and their
revenge.
movement, they're
The fate of both
crazy,
worlds
man.
against the invisible boundary keeps this at a stalemate, while Gainer will be warded away from the Ultra strategist line.
Now, QB is going to be forced out the invisible boundary. They have to give it up because of the silent seduction going to cut through the team. The fact that there's no like barriers that are going to stop the silent seduction means that like the fall range is a lot better too from the damage it's able to do. It just means that Lions have to sort of fall in line with what Frankie Boxing wants to do as the Emma Frost. Buddy Barrier is going to be used in the Rage of Ultron. It's the counter attack with 5 seconds left in overtime. Immediately, Whoops is going to bring out the Galactic Legend to try and counter, but gets Zerks in the back line.
And Rex was focusing on using that Rage of Ultron to heal his team and to make sure they were still up against the Galactic Legend. Makes it only a 1-limb ultimate for the duelist, but Alter, what they've gained is so much more important. The space, the cooldowns out of the Dino, Ziad on his last legs. You really need to maybe finish off some of these heroes, but hey, you got Gainer, or at least you got actually three strategists from Alter out of the fight. That is insane from Zerks. We never get to see him on the jet, and now Alter need to regroup, and they still are standing minus one of their vanguards. At least getting towards the end is good enough. The Soul Resurgence copy against Lions respawn advantage, and the Dino that is immovable. Alter just
oh my god, that dinosaur doing a lot of damage. Holy
like
shit.
Frozen. It's back to the Ice Ages for Ziad, but Alter
They did not
off
cap
the point right at the end. It's similar to what we've seen on Jelly already with the one game that we've seen in stage 1 of just a fast first point take, point 2 being stalled out for eons, eras. And then now Alter just trying to push it as far as they could possibly go. But it's the fact that these fights just never, certainly towards the end, like the fights just felt never ending. Like it felt like, okay, this is sort of the end, everything's calmed down. Never mind, the Black Cat has just dove in and like there's another like counterattack from Lions. We knew that they were going to play at pace. In fact, it was one of the things that they were
what do you mean?
Kind of getting caught out
Curse
with in preseason.
Bro, that is
Just
a
they were
really
playing a little
good
bit too fast,
push.
almost a
Why are
little
you
bit too
guys saying I
aggressive, too
cursed
greedy
them?
for picks, instead of trying to pace
a
up
lot
these
of you people,
engagements.
a lot of you people
Here,
in
it's
chat
the
that are
fact they can
saying,
still do it on
"Yo,
defense,
GG's,
and
bro,
also
J3
just
curses."
couldn't
No, you guys are the
break through. You
same
need to
ones
find,
who
like,
would
that,
be in
like,
my ranked
lethal
games.
mentality
If
when
we
you're playing the triple
don't win
strategies.
the first
And at
team
least
fight,
once
you
it's
guys
getting
are
those
already
final
saying, "Hey,
eliminations,
forfeit,
it's just
GG's.
like-
I don't want to play." And you guys
there's
swap the
not
Black
many
Widow
eliminations
or
on the
Scarlet
lines
Witch and
full
jump
stop.
off the mat.
With
No,
that
bro.
composition, it's hard to move anybody off
Any
the point.
game is
It's
winnable.
such a mechanically
Every game is
demanding
winnable.
hero.
That
Even
is a
with the
very
extra
good
ammo,
push,
yes,
dude.
You're more deadly in those moments, but you still need to sync with the moment of the
Wait, are they
dive
running
of
one
Team
support?
Captain,
Wait a minute, wait a minute,
who,
wait a minute.
Yes, the Venom is one of his comfort picks, and now where's the rest of the damage coming from? Exo and Monarch are busy trying to deal with Gainers, so they're not really part of this, while as then you have this Mantis who's hoping to damage boost Whoops, but this triple strategist means you don't have a second duelist, so all eyes are on Whoops to have perfect execution on these one clips, and you have to trade backlines. If Alter don't trade backlines, Saddam is going to ruin everything for Alter.
How much as well, like, there's going to be like Peel here. You've got people on the high ground, but is there anybody that's really going to be scary against that Black Cat? It's not like Daredevil can sort of like smush them out, make sure that they can't take this engagement. Emma Frost is going to do the same sort of thing. But outside of that, it's like you have 3 strategists that are going to be key targets here. Frankie Boxing wants to get this
Watch,
easy charge
you know
up
what?
on the Devil Dinosaur in front of him.
I'm putting
So
the
Buddy
house
Barrier
that this is gonna be a
even
full hold.
more.
Watch this.
But Alter, like, just find the pick to the back line. It's like Lions went in, Alter just went into the back
Yo,
line
sunflowers.
strategist and just took them out instantly.
Flowers?
That is
Appreciate the massive 8
insane.
months.
Just to have a
The
Venom
Jag for
basically
2 months. The
solo
useful
an
Egyptian for
invisible
3 months.
woman like
Appreciate it.
that
Mackie Daddy. Appreciate
should
the
be
Mr. 1
unheard
sub, my
of.
friend. Welcome.
And now Alter buys some very precious time here, while Lions are still waiting to set up Saddam
Isn't it
on the
sunflowers?
angle and send Gainer with them. Usually
sunflowers.
this is a very successful
Flowers.
flank. Alter are watching for it.
I imagine, like, Gain and Satam need to, like, combine. That's the main thing. If you want to go for these dives, it has to be together, and that's what's sort of felt a little bit isolated. Like, the Captain America is going to be in, he's going to be out, he's on the high ground. Nobody else is really able to sort of even contest with him. He's there in the high ground. You've got the force being formed out from Frankie Box in the diamond form, able to get the picks. There's so much damage to actually farm up on Ziad, and the coordination just isn't there, Lemon.
But the crystals are, and that is why Emma is such a good Vanguard to play with the Dino, but also against the Dino with that percentage health. So Alter win back-to-back fights now. Lions, half the time bank, and not really close to the ultimates because they've just been skirmishing so much.
For me, yeah, it's just like keep an eye on Gainer, keep an eye on Satam. Like, are they going on the right target? Like, this is why you also saw a lot of White Fox too. Like, those three just dive on one like isolated target. Like, go for those like eliminations, and you're free like strategists to pick off. Like, it's hard work, so you have to be very selective and have a keen choice on who you want to run into. It's look disconnected now, and the Galactic Legend is going to be used onto the top.
Wait, I think they're able to get into cover. Lions do survive the storm, and whoops,
That was a good
hanging
kite.
around, playing around the ceiling so well.
Good
Get a little bit
kite.
caught there,
Good
but
kite
that
by
is
Lions.
Just one wave of ultimates. Team Captain will crash down on this parade. Uses the ults to bring everyone down so low. Zerx gives him another chance at life with the End Song Inferno landing on a doppelganger. So not.
Didn't know
gonna
I
be
was watching one of my
impactful.
chatters
Lions
play
trying to toss
play
people off the
Phoenix.
map,
Yo,
or at least
guys,
out
what
of
you
the
aiming at,
fight.
chat?
So a little bit of an isolation on the strategist back there as the Emma Charm gets these assassins off Frankie's backline, but Saddam's mark has still been felt. But Whoops will trade in that moment, so Alter may be able to portal in, especially with this fate of both worlds. Alter are believers, and how can you doubt them? But Lions are just a lot healthier, and Ziad stops the field and brings them into the firing squad. And there's nothing more that Alter can do but portal and draw a few more seconds from this Lions cap.
Now everybody's on the right target there. You've got like the fight happening on the objective with the sort of White Fox wanting to at least try to sort of AoE set themselves up on the objective even. So now like it's going to be like Rex just taking an absolute pummeling now. The Alter Esports actually able to get back into this engagement, and it's still only a third that they've managed to get, and there's less than a minute on the clock. Like,
No,
well,
I don't
this is
think it's a
looking
full
really
hold,
difficult
chat.
now
I don't
for
think it's a
Lions.
full
Even if they're
hold.
finding the
'Cause I think they're gonna
eliminations
lose
now
this
for
fight. Yeah,
Satam, they have
feels
to
bad,
be
man.
able to
Bro,
finish near enough the end of the
hey,
map at this
still
rate.
winnable. Still winnable. And
Yeah,
you
that
guys
will
were
be a
and you
full
guys were
tap down,
mad.
no
You
portal
guys were mad
available
saying,
for
"Oh, J3
Alter," and
curse."
liking that, you know, you're able to use that Emma
That was a good
as
push
well
from
to
Lions.
shield off the heels of
They
someone like
didn't
Rex,
give up.
who will probably
They
go
didn't
back to
give
the
up like my
strategist
ranked
now. We're
teammates.
gonna go back to the tried and true comp of Lions to try and ward away this dive from Alter, who are now a lot more successful with trading backlines. You saw Team Captain how valuable he was at removing Rex and at least harassing Lions. But wait, Lions are still trying to get some progress here and at least get the high ground going.
Now seeing what the like Lions now having to not like go for the high ground. They're not going for these like positions to try and get in over on top. Like they've had actually respected this far too much, and Alter have sort of smelt that there's a little bit of trepidation.
I don't
in this
have
engagement.
keys. Sorry,
But
chat.
it might
I
allow
don't.
the
It's
space
not.
for
It's
Satam
not
to
mine.
find
It's the
himself
bank. So
too
you guys
from
have to finish paying
nowhere.
off the mortgage. My bad, chat.
The
The interest rate is 7.5%, by the way.
You're gonna have to run 5
Good luck.
strategists to survive and still have heals after Saddam is done with you. And that was after Alter had such incredible pick on Rex, and you thought that was gonna be the end of the chapter.
I just
and
want
Saddam
the
just
door.
solo
What the
swings
hell?
the
There's
fight in his
nothing even
favor.
good about the door.
Absolutely just steals like 2 picks, but Alter like they dove in aggressively, seeing that the Lions were backing out, but it must have created so much space for Satam to find the picks. You've got calling card used alongside the Galactic Legend, and it's narrowly it's going to be the Galactic Legend that wins out in the end for Whoops. He is going to be traded in the end, so the 5v5 is going to end up more in a brawl with 90 seconds left.
And the heroics always come from Saddam, so I think you take that trade if you're
Wait,
Alter,
wait,
the
wait,
Galactic
wait, wait, wait,
Legend
wait, wait,
against
wait, wait,
Saddam, But the rest of the Lions are going to roar, and it's the double Vanguard ultimates that overwhelm.
What
the
is Alter
Alters
Esports
now.
doing? They just
Have
gave
a
up
few
the
more
whole
meters to
second
go,
point for
and you don't have
free.
Frankie, and Team Captain can't contest, so this is going to be a swift cap and maybe able to make up for the time deficit that Lions experienced on the first point.
2.5 minutes, like it's the difference, like so many like first point fast takes and then a slow second. This was the opposite in the end for like Lions here, just off the base of like Satam being able to find those eliminations as Alter like overextended themselves. Now Frankie Box inside the seduction, I imagine he might just want to use this like off of the rip. You have so many like strategist ultimates to back up on and very little for Lions to be using.
Chat,
Buddy
the game's
Barrett's
not
been
over
used
yet,
out
bro.
early too.
Alter Esports wins.
With Soul Resurgence.
Wait, the Soul Resurgence. I mean,
You guys need to
yeah,
realize
they were so
something.
out
The
of
game is
position,
not
they
over
had
till it's
to
over.
pop it, and still one-man advantage for Alter chasing down the rest, and now you can play that Psionic Seduction. Team Captain can kick off the fight. In worst case, you have Fate of Both Worlds, so Alter are set up to make this a marathon.
Yeah, and you could just go for the copy as well because Exo is very close to having it. So it's like, okay, just use the original. We'll have a copy if we do need it. We just need to make sure that we win a fight because we need to buy more time. We need to force more engagement. Aegis is going to connect up to the Diner. Put a barrier. It's immediately once that barrier goes down, that's when the dive comes
Hey.
in.
Hey,
Team Captain is
where's the
just
haters
got
at?
Something. A vendetta against Rex is always eliminating a
Nice.
strategist
At
on
least
the
they're showing a
Lions
little bit
side.
of
There's
life. They
only
could have
so
showed a
much
little bit
just
more life
a
on the
little
second
shark can
phase, but
do.
That got
Ultra
rolled,
are
bro.
Really finding some impact, some success on these counter dives.
It's just like the buddy barrier. Once it goes down for Ziad, like, sorry, anybody from like Alter in the end, yeah, like Ziad goes down, Alter immediately are able to bounce off a bit. They still have those ultimates, but they've just been winning these fights for free.
And Whoops is doing his best to mark everyone, whether it's the Black Cat or the Captain America. And Saddam, doesn't matter. You can watch it all unfold, and he'll fold your backline like a lawn chair as Rex hopes to keep them stable. 48 seconds, the invisible boundary will cement
Fold
some real
your
estate. And now the
backline like a
charm
lawn
hopes to bring
chair.
the
I
house
like that.
down as Alter with the fate of both worlds are not really getting much connection. They do get a charm onto the Black Cat, but not enough punish is coming out of Alter. Not unless Whoops is locked in, and he surely will be with the Galactic Legend coming out. And Alter are taking shelter from this cat.
It's so close. It's so close to being ready and available, and there goes the front line in the end. Like Exo's had this copy
oh
for
shit,
so long,
oh
and he's got a
shit.
Galactic
No,
Legend,
chat, I
used
think
that with the
Lions
Solar
wins.
Surges, but
Look
they
at the
just waited,
ults,
there
look at
was
the
a gap,
ults, bro.
and immediately the front line
Look
is
at the
cut to
ults, man.
pieces,
Lions
and
has
Alter
5 ults,
able to
Alter
sort of
Esports only has
start to flounder a bit
3,
more.
and
Alter, they have good ults to try and survive this. This is the fight to see if we go into a third map or not. And it's the Lions that kick off with the Vanguard. QB waiting for his moment to kidnap Ziad, brings Frankie to his knees and chomps down one final time to make a feast out of the Alter front line. And Whoops needs to put on a show, and his Black Cat just
oh my god, if that Black Cat got it, oh my god, say it, chat, say it, say it, say it. I'm sorry, J3, I'll trust you forever. I trust you with my life, J3. You're the best. You're never wrong. Say it. Say it.
But there's just no progress. There's no momentum being
No,
generated here
say
from
it's over,
Lions
chat. It's
unless
over.
Saddam or
Just
someone
like
emerges
me
as the hero.
thinking
But
that I'm
Alter
gonna
lost their
grow
only duelist,
still in
but
my
they
life.
have
No,
the
it's
Soul
over.
Resurgence left, and
I
that
can't do it
should
anymore.
be
It's
the
over.
end. The graves are marked from Lions. Alter just have to send away QB, and so they have. We are going to map 3.
Alter being able
This is a
to
good
bounce
series.
back from like a
It's a good
tough
series.
first map
I
in
got
the
it,
end,
I got
and
it.
Lions had so
Good
many
series,
like good
man.
moments to try and work with it. It's just that like Alter.
That was a
the
really
second
close
point,
game.
like,
That was a
first
really,
point
really
defense actually
close
pretty much
game,
going
bro.
all
No,
the way
no,
to, like,
don't say you
OT.
never
Lions
doubted me. No, no,
eking it
no.
out by a fine
See,
margin.
wait, I need to get my...
It's now Alter bringing this to a third, but they've been consistently able to get to full best
Lions
of 3
against
but it's just,
Alter.
like,
Alter,
being lost
that
out at the final
J3
post.
prediction.
Lions have the choice
J3's
of, like, a
prediction is
convoy
never
map to
wrong.
finish on, and, like,
Right there.
They would have preferred to have gone.
This
to
is
Djibouti if
this
they
is
had
literally
full control,
proof.
if
I
they
got the
could choose
whiteboard
convergence,
out
but they can't.
so I could show
now
you
they have to
guys
choose something
that I'm
else
not changing my
entirely,
answers.
whether
It's
they wanna
proof.
Still commit to this.
Literally proof.
Whoops showed up massively in the triple strategy.
Literally, literally proof.
Oh, 42K? That is insane. Like, you're making Terra blush on the Star-Lord on just visiting this map before. If he can get over 40,000 damage, that is so impressive from Whoops. The 22
Yeah,
final
both teams
blows
actually
as
popped
well,
off, though.
matching well with Team Captain. And I'm glad that Alter kind of
I'm
found
never
the Vanguard
listening to
line
after
that
what
works
happened
for
last
them. Someone
watch
that
party.
can stabilize the objective, and Team Captain was ruining
Come here.
Rex's life. I know
Come here.
Xerxes on
I'm
the
gonna
Invisible
stick
Woman,
this
but
finger
Rex was just always getting eliminated first on the line
right
side.
up there, bro.
But Saddam was what really made this map as close as it was. I mean, it came down to an overtime fight for the win or loss. So, I mean, this could have gone either way.
What's up?
Yeah, so we're going to see exactly how this map
Promise
is going to
what?
end after a quick break. So don't go anywhere. Alter Esports versus Lions. We'll
What
continue
is
on
wrong
as
with
the first
you?
day we see in preseason.
I think you're a little delusional from the medicine. Emily's back. Yeah, Emily's back, but she's also she got sick from the plane. A lot of people, bro. I hate being on the plane when people are sneezing and coughing. Oh, nah, bro. Like, get away from me. Nope. Oh. Okay, chat. Give me a second. I gotta go to the bathroom. Give me 1 second, chat. I gotta go pee. Do you believe in magic? Massive dump 3. Chat, bro, stop, man.
Before the show me that you are still the only one that matters for me. I'll be waiting for you. Wait up, open your hands, holding on to your heart. Look inside you. Can you feel it? The sparks in you. And it unleash it. Wake up, open your eyes, raising the fist and smashing through time walls. Before the rift splinters yet again, we are rivals to the end. And rise up, open your minds, hold on to your powers. No one can stop us. We are rivals till the end of time. 한껏 더 높이 날아올라 내 누워진 밤하늘을 가로질러 Oh yeah, oh yeah. 필요할 때 내가 널 지켜줄게 간절히 바라면 이루어지는 마법인 거야 하늘에서
Series 1-1 with Lions taking the first and Alter able to hold in the final building. So close to that ending, so close to a triple cap as well from the Lions that could have maybe secured themselves that win a little bit more convincingly. But Alter able to sneak it back in and get themselves on the board, taking us to a map 3. And while we did see Alter take another win, we were chatting in the break and putting in messages in our chat. Lemon, Frankie Boxing and team captain both are putting a stellar performance on Vanguard.
And they look so good together, and I think that's why the tryouts were so crystal clear on why Frankie should join this team. I mean, the comms improve time and time again. I like that they also look stable as a squad when things get really chaotic. When you have a Black Cat flanking you all the time, that was going to be something that Alter had to address. They didn't do it in the ban. Maybe they tried to do it in the map pick, but they did so either with the Daredevil in the first map, which didn't work out, but mostly whoops his attention on the Star-Lord, all towards that Black Cat, letting it rain with the Galactic Legend, always on this poor cat who's not a fan of that rain. And I think Whoops did an incredible job, especially needing to own that single duelist. You have to be the GOAT.
And Ryan, looking at this end screen here, we had players like Satan performing, Ziad with 89k damage blocked, Zerg's playing on Star-Lord, playing on Jeff, just playing over everything. Who's standing out to you so far in this series now that we're tied up?
Ooh, in the series, it's like Satam still for like just like some of the Black Cat like prowess and stuff. Like as a duelist, like we were sort of focusing on Zergs a little bit more, but I think Satam has just like remembered the name a little bit more. I think this has been a really good like intro debut for Ziad, certainly when you're just playing the Devil Dino. But I'm liking like Monarch, like for Alter Esports, it's like, okay, now you can see exactly what they want to try and do with a composition, and it glues everything together. That's the key area, and Yggdrasil's path is going to be a third and final map decided on by Lions.
Yggdrasil path. This is a really good map. I like it. Yo, Kronk and Dong for 34 months. Appreciate it. Sorry, I had to go to the bathroom.
We're not going to be seeing any super hard spawn holds here. So Lemon, looking at this, are we going to be sticking with potentially the bans on stuff like the Gambit? Or are we going to be seeing bans on stuff like the Devil Dinosaur? I leave it over to you and Ryan to take it away.
Yes, I guess we're gonna have to have a council meeting, Ryan, on what these picks and bans are gonna look like, because you highlighted a bunch of really good people.
Who do you have winning
probably
this?
would have also
Who do
given
I
a big
have
shout
winning
out to
this?
Gamer,
Chat.
because it's the Black Cat, which was a lot of solo.
When you guys ask
plays
me
in
that
the
question,
beginning,
it's not
then they
J3.
realized
Who do
that
you
needed
think is going to win
reinforcements.
this?
So
When I
Captain
predict who's going to
America-
win,
I don't want to accidentally
they
say Team
are
Captain, but
going to
sending
win.
the Captain America
I
over
have the
Black Cat
power
made a huge
to
difference. I
change
love what Gamer did
lives.
on the previous
I
map.
have the power
I think
in
it's
my
just a
hand.
really good like method to be playing like Captain America in and like just building up like
Alter
box
Esports
charge and
wins.
stuff. It doesn't feel like it's like okay, Deadpool, Vanguard, and then whatever you can work around with the Gambit. Like if you want to get Rogue, you can do. But going into it this time,
The reason
it's
I
like,
think
it's still
Alter
gonna be this
Esports
Gambit, like,
wins
first
is I
bands
think
coming
they
in.
had
You're
a better
looking to be
showing
another
in the
one-sided, like,
preseason,
Devil
but I know it
Dinosaur,
is a new,
in hands and in
you know, it's a new
favor
meta, it's a new
of this
everything,
time for,
but
like,
I'm
Lions.
still
So
gonna
they're
go
gonna
with,
have the
I'm
dinosaurs
still gonna go with
themselves. I would
my
imagine though there might be
original,
more priority that goes on to getting Frankie Box in the Emma because she's
prediction.
exceptional on this map, even without facing up against the Devil Dino.
Yeah, that seemed to be the fallback plan in a one-sided Dino situation, which did a really fantastic job of placing the shields, which is going to be how
Can
all
you-
the Emmas
can
are
you
going to
give
be
me my-
playing.
can
but
you wish me
placing the
$1 million?
shield behind the Dino to limit some
I
of
can
those
put you to
heals
work if you
every
want. You
second
want me to take off
matters,
1
and
week
the
follower
Dino has
mode?
to realize, okay, do I engage and try to self-heal off of the chomps, but then you have to be, of course, in melee range, or do you try and fall back to your strategist? But again, the name of the game is going to be how Alter protect their backline. Is it going to be the Loki or not? Which is going to be a tough one because it's either the Luna, the Loki, or any kind of strategist that can peel against a Black Cat.
Wow.
Seems that
No
that's gonna be, like, the
Mantis.
protect going in, but I think if you're like
That's
Alter
actually
Esports
wow.
here, like you've got exactly what you want.
Alter
You've got the
Esports
one-sided
bans
Mantis,
and
the
saves
one-sided
are a
Luna
little
again.
interesting to
Like,
me.
It was the Venom that was taken out last time.
That
from
is
Gainer.
actually
It's gonna be the
very,
same
very
here.
interesting.
Like, you could have
They
gone
did
for
not
something like,
save
is there
Black
any other
Cat. They
players or
did not
characters that
save
we're
Devil
worried
Dinosaur,
about?
but they
In
banned
particular, it seems
3
that taking
supports
Gainer off of the
and
Venom, where it's a decent
a
map
Venom.
from still, is going to be like the area. Like, I really like these drafts from like Alter Esports, and even if Lions do have the strong characters of stuff like Devil Dinosaur, especially one-sided, Alter Esports have an answer for it, and they're all playing around it. That's the key thing.
And I like that there's just a plan B for any of these heroes that are getting banned, whether it's if it's Gainer or Team Captain's Venom, then the Captain
sorry.
America is that substitute. And if it's not the Dino, if it's a one-sided Dino, then you bring out the Emma to try and counter that, because that crystal is going to do so much chunk damage to that Dino, and you want to try and do that damage as quickly as possible. So we're getting a glimpse of what the defense has been decided on, and it's Monarch once again on the Luna. I'm seeing
We're back.
some triple
Just
strategies.
wanted
the
to
Emma, the
catch up.
Phoenix, and especially on a map like Idrisil's Path on defense, you're going to be so spaced out from your opponent from some time, so that Phoenix can oftentimes decide a fight before it even begins.
Yo, can we look at that Mantis
Seeing
real quick for
how-
no apparent reason? I
Alter
just want to see
Esports
that
can
Mantis
manage to
crosshair.
get some like wins on the board to begin. Like they were able to pick up a series win against Pulsar.
Can I see
in
the
their
Mantis,
groups, but losing out
POV,
against
please?
Peps. In like the deciding match of groups meant that they didn't make playoffs. It was by thin margins, and this game sort of Tetcha said it right at the start of the day. It could be like playoffs defining, considering how strong this group is for Group A. But Frankie Boxing hoping to just farm up as much damage as he can. The fall
W,
off is
watch
great.
party
You
for
don't
my
have many
birthday.
barriers to deal
Hey,
with.
happy
He's
birthday,
just
my
facing
friend.
up
Happy
head
birthday,
on
happy
against
birthday.
this dinosaur on the other side of
Hope you
Zia.
have a great day, man.
And so many charms, a good initial kick, but not pushing the Dino forward yet. Gets Ziad low. Remember, the longer this fight goes, the stronger this Emma gets. Meanwhile, Gainer has already begun flanking against the strategist, and this is really causing chaos in the Alter camp, not having that Mantis in the lineup, which means the Emma wasn't paid attention to, which means Lions will see progress.
Wait.
It's actually a huge amount of progress to begin with, and like Alter Esports looking to try and group up and engage here. If somebody gets eliminated, they could go for Strange perhaps for a portal play, but it's already been somewhat disrupted from Gainer, who on the Captain America is like close some space. Goes down to low HP, but he's able to survive in the end. Now Team Captain try to sort of break up the backline, but you already lose one of your 3 strategists that you run in.
It's just Alter always starting these
Oh,
fights
nice,
without
nice,
their Mantis,
nice.
and a trade hero there is not going to matter because this is just capped right in front of the eyes of Alter, who have not found any stability at the start of Idrisil's Path. And I mean, this is such a punishing first point. If you don't have any pushback, you're just going to get run
No,
over.
I'm okay.
Well, teams could just like tilt
yours,
themselves into
please.
the ground as well and lose second very quickly. And with Satan playing Black Cat, he's got information on if anybody's coming for the high ground. Whoops has to go on low, and he's trying to get in and around the team on the other side because Lions have got so much pressure on his high ground. It could be Lions like snowballing this if somebody from Alter gets picked at a bad spot.
Whoops able to displace these duelists, but they're all going to be looking at him while Gainer will be sent away. Doesn't want that much attention. You can see that Zerx's impact is already felt, the way he already has the end song Inferno, and he's trying to bring this wasp of Whoops down to his knees. Toss now. Lions will feed
I got you
one
guys.
to their team.
Broken.
And Lions, yeah, not going to be able to pull off the end song Inferno, but Team Captain trying to get these strategists down to their knees.
Oh,
And at
it's not
least
working,
Alter
bro.
on board
Chat
with
it.
the plan, but there's just not enough heals, and the fate of both worlds
It's
comes
not
out when
working,
only
bro.
4 Alter remain, and it's matched by the Lions' invisible boundary, so we're left at a stalemate.
It's just these fights have been consistently ongoing, like even the Lions like winning out and
Banning
it's forcing them to reset
Gambit
from
over a
Alter.
cat is
Time was
wild.
bought.
Gambit is-
It's just
Gambit
how
is
costly it
still
was
a
ultimately.
really
Like,
good
you got
ban,
Soul
chat.
Resurgence on
Gambit is
hand for
broken.
Hadro, and Exo gonna have Kamiho to try and dive in and go for these fights soon. It's gonna be a bit more of like a save for a trait as Galactic Legend is looming, but you just look at Lions, like they're sort of respecting this. They
Oh.
find the pick onto Team Captain that gets everybody focuses on the dive as it comes in. 6v5.
And you should be the most evasive character in the game on the Venom, so just Alter not really able to bail out their Vanguard. The charm brings the Dino in, but that's not the target you want. You want what's supporting the Dino behind. And Lions, they send it with the Kumio form. You wanted a fight and you will get one. And the Gainer is ready to push these strategists to the edge, and the Duelist ultimates come raining down, and of course,
the buddy
all the
barrier.
limbs come out from the Lions. There is just not much of a response
Oh,
from
yeah,
Alters,
that
and
Black
that
Cat-
means Lions are about to cap.
Dude.
Satam is moving at such a pace, you can't even keep up with him, it feels like. But that was like such good play in the end from like Lions. You could see like, whoops, he was holding on to his ultimate. Big
Wow,
ultimates
was
were
that 4
expended for
minutes,
the rest
chat?
of his
4.5
team to just,
minutes
like,
for the last
get out
phase.
as many like strategist ults, right? Like sustain, freedom charge.
I'm not
Then
the
he's
one
gonna
that
go in for the
usually
Galactic
gets
Legend. Instantly shut down from Zed with just a buddy barrier. He basically is.
I'm not
big
the one that
dinosaur, I put up a
usually
big shield, I
like, you
stand in
know,
door, you can't do
starts to
anything.
feel negative, chat.
That was
but,
the way that it was counted. Like
this ain't
Galactic
looking
Legends
good.
felt so free there if it wasn't for Sead playing well. But it means that this keeps going for Lions. 4 minutes on the clock. Frankie Boxing wants to try to like draw a line in the sign to go in for these fights, but he's worried about the front line being punished off and giving too much space for Satam to dive in onto his back line.
These strategists from Alter need to be safe. And how was Whoops getting beat to death by a Captain America? There is something breaking down in the Alter camp, and now everyone
Yeah,
falls
once you
like
have-
dominoes. Lions already
There,
had a
dude,
terrifying
well, I feel
fight
really bad for
going
Alter
into this
Esports
with
because
4
Lions
minutes. And now
Lions
they'll
is
just
running
keep it
against
going
a
as Team
comp
Captain
that
just
is
wanted
going to
maybe
bully
perish
that
on the
flark
payload
out of
there
Alter
the
Esports, bro.
convoy, and
Frankie
he's getting pulled
Boxing,
back in, but
I
this
do
also is
like
good
the
ult
Emma,
from
but you
Monarch.
need to
He
have
can
another
both
tank with
worlds
you
going.
that's on the front lines, bro. Having Team Captain on that Venom and diving the back line and doing
Now,
all this stuff, I
seeing
don't
if,
think it's
like,
helping their front
Lions
line. They're getting their front line
keeping it
ran
easy
down,
now.
bro.
You don't really have much to worry about other than like this, but the ends up with Ferno is going to dive in onto like Hatra. Exo's taken out in quick succession too, and then you've got
Because that
Fate
Dino
Both
is just
used,
going to keep
like,
bullying
Team
Frankie Boxing, bro.
Captain has found himself two though.
But at least he got
with
two
Feast of
this
the
time.
Abyss, trying to get onto another one with a Phoenix, and then suddenly out of absolutely nowhere, Lemon, Lions
the
looking like
cat.
they're forced to reset, but they
I was
haven't
thinking
heard
about
the bell.
making
They're
one of
gonna
those.
go in for the frenzy on Ziad. This fight is still ongoing, but also
Hug, though.
themselves a
Appreciate the
lifeline.
donut, my friend.
Team Captain puts the cape on his back. This is only winnable because of him. Two strategists fall from one Venom
I mean, I
ultimate,
think it was
and
the one
Lions,
fight,
though,
bro. He has to
it's
do
a
that
minor
every
setback.
team
They
fight.
still
You
have plenty
cannot
of
have
time,
value,
and Team
chat.
Captain
You
has
cannot
more
have
up his
value
sleeve, but
on
you see
one
that
team
all
fight
those
and be like,
Lions
okay,
are
yeah, man,
paying
listen, it's
attention
not, I'm
to
not the
this
front.
Venom. While of course Saddam gets ready on the flank with the calling card, and Team Captain knows he has to play more survivable. Now Lions have a window to engage while the Venom has left, and this is the go sign, pedal to the metal, and Gainer's ready with the ultimate very soon. You really can't look at this Venom. Lions have the strategists exactly where they want them, and maybe you're looking for a grab on the Venom while Whoops hopes to peel for his team, but Team Captain can't be bailed out. You'll have to do it without him, and it's the charm to bring Lions away from safety, and the Lions, they escape, but now the strategists are in trouble, and Gainer always converts in these moments. He'll force out this soul resurgence, and Alter will have to fight, not on their terms, but when they are forced to. Lions will bring out the Kumiho form in response, and Whoops hopes to end it all with a Galactic Legend, and with the Venom dive, it cements them in, and
Ooh,
Lions, they
nice,
cannot go anywhere
nice,
against
nice.
There's no space to work on. Alter winning the fight, but dragging it out, which is probably more important.
Nice.
Lions can't sort of put the final hit in. But it was just like an improv group. It's just, and then this happens, and then this
Both
happens.
teams are
It
playing
just
really
wasn't
well.
ending. And like for Lions, that could be costly. Like if
But,
you feel like you're not going to
I
win
think
the
Lions
fight,
are probably
don't
gonna win this next team
overdedicate
fight.
reset,
Look at
try to
the ult
regroup,
differential,
because
chat.
Ultra are able to sort of farm up
They might
a
cap
nice
this.
cycle of strategist ultimates. They got
they play-
Kumiho
if they do it
and
well.
a Fate of Both Worlds looming, ready, available for the backline to survive all of this like ongoing threat. The calling card could be the difference. It's thrown in instantly from Satam.
Okay, EXO tries to keep the team afloat and rally the troops, and Lions, they just do not care about your Fox, because they
Oh, they're
have
popping
the cat,
everything.
and
That
instead of
told
the
you, bro.
double,
They're popping
no
everything, bro.
strategists remain from Alter. They just get suffocated, choked to death by the cat, and one last hurrah comes from Team Captain just to stall to get
Wait, did they say
Lions
choked?
thinking twice.
Choked
What
by
all
the
they're
cat?
thinking about is a cap, but the fate of both worlds will
I don't
try
think
to
there's
swing
anything
things
wrong
in
right there.
Alter's favor, but the invisible boundary just matches band for band, and all the healing is now neutralized. Frankie's gonna need help on the Angela, but all he was doing was delaying the inevitable. Saddam is just all over Alter, and there's just no way to keep this ship still
that's.
floating,
I mean,
as
that was
Alter
still.
will give up
They
the
capped with
cap
8
now
seconds,
with
but
an
Alter
8-second
Esports did a really
time bank
good
to Lions.
last
I
point
mean,
hold
finishing
there.
the map could
Their
be the
first point
difference
hold
in
and
itself,
their
even if there's only 8
their
seconds
second
left.
point hold, I don't think
But
was
for
the
Alter,
best,
like,
but their third
considering
point was
how
good.
brutal that first point defense was, just how it was a nothing burger. Nothing was there. There was like one fight, couple of eliminations, and you've instantly lost it. They held out a decent amount on second, considering how long these fights were going on, and then third, able to hold on for like 4 minutes or so. A great performances for like Team Captain being able to get 2 with like the Feast of the Abyss. We're still finding those like eliminations, but it just goes to show just how quick Satam can like turn that fight, calling card especially, and you've got Ziad diving in with the
I don't understand.
Gainer sustaining his team with these freedom charges. It's like the fact that Lions haven't like
I don't know if I
slowed down, they
like the
haven't
Jeff
tempered the
pick.
way
This
that
guy's
they wanna
playing
play.
Jeff. Why
They've
they
just
saved
increased it and added a
Mantis,
dinosaur
and they're
into
not
the
playing
mission.
Mantis?
It's just the punish that they have on
I think the
Team
Mantis would be
Captain,
really good,
and
especially
it's
with
not
the
even
with the
a
damage
severe
boost on
amount
the
of casualties, and it's- if you
Star
force
Lord
Team
and
Captain
the
out of the fight, there's
the
just
Emma.
this immediate
Oh my
tempo
God,
change
wait.
from Lions to then
Wait.
force out Frankie boxing.
0
and then
and
also
8,
Hatro
Frankie.
was kind of falling a lot initially at the first part of point A, which was already one of the problems that Alter had to address. And just having to make sure this backline survives.
That looks
just
like
been
me
so
if I was
difficult for
playing
Alter to
professionally,
do.
chat.
And that's a big shout out to Saddam, really looking like the better Black Cats here in EMEA.
Now fight in for Alter to see if they can try to match what Lions have been able to do on this attack by pushing it to the end. Really, it's just a case of like how much this like first fight and how
No,
quickly
like
they
I
can
said,
take this
chat,
first
Frankie
engagement.
Boxing
It
is
could
getting
be
bullied
the
on the front
deciding
line because of the
factor.
Devil
Team Captain
Dinosaur.
immediately
He doesn't
wanted
have
to
help.
try and contest onto the high ground.
doesn't have
it's
help.
going to be enough. He's got some of the pressure coming in from the likes of like Phoenix and Gainer trying to go for this like flank to see if he can get onto the strategists in the back line, but everybody's grouped up together. Things are still moving on, and Lions haven't lost anybody just yet.
Lions at least setting the tone right now and just keeping this back corner. Captain, though, but with how the strategists are spacing out, Captain can really only dive on one person at a time, and he's not getting healed at all. The rest of Volter on the other side of the cart. You need Monarch to give Flake. You need Exo to lock in, and Alter.
They need to
are
play front
just
to back,
not
chat.
this
I don't know
unit
what
that
they're
we
doing
saw
right
at
now.
the beginning of the series.
They need to play front to back. Team Captain
Ziad
is
pushing
diving the enemy
forward.
team's
He's got
back
the
line
bloody
to
barrier
try
as
to,
well
like, you know,
see if he can just,
to
like,
try
keep
to
this
split
door, like,
focus,
closed in the end.
but
If there's
he's the
anybody
only
else
one
on Alter, no,
diving.
they have to try and
He has
regroup.
no
I'm
help.
not sure if they're,
He's
like,
just going to
concerned
get
about any
shot to
flanks
low
happening or just
HP.
trying to,
He's
like,
going to run away,
reposition
and then
to
he's
get
not going to be in the
information.
team fight for
And
a
really
few
it's just
seconds because he
case of
hasn't
how
getting
many
help.
of these are like real dives coming in from Team Captain.
At
like,
least
on the
play
Venom.
front to
Like, he wants
back.
to
Go to
contest the
another
high
tank.
ground,
Help your
but he's
front
not really
line.
got
Help
much with
Frankie.
him. Everybody else
Frankie
is gonna just try
boxing.
and set up these,
He's
like,
getting
crossfires.
bullied right now.
So
He's
they're looking at
boxing
what
right
he's
now.
gonna
He
be more
lost
like in
all
the
his
back line.
teeth. He's
It's
still
how
getting
much, like,
punched.
focus goes
He
in
needs
onto these
help.
Venoms. The CC is perfect, but Monarch is the one that finds that first pick onto Rex.
The ref is not
Huge,
even
and that's
stopping the
'cause, I
fight.
mean, you didn't have the Gainer flank really start to form at this moment, and Lions, I mean, the Alter, the comms have to be
I hear Emily
incredible
laughing.
for when Gainer shows up, when the ults come out.
Where's
when
the
Team
refs,
Captain
chat?
has
No,
to
where's
play
the
safe
refs,
when
man?
his backline is getting pressured. There is so many threats on the Lions side that Alter have to address, and this is now costing a pretty good amount of time for Alter. This was a speed run for Lions previously, and Alter have half their time gone, and this could still be good. And right at the knees of the Invisible Woman, the end song Inferno does not finish the strats. Now the Soul Resurgence against the Invisible Boundary, and Alter still hope to make the space to cap, but they just don't have the picks. Lions have so much sustained on their side, and Frankie hopes to charm them back into the fight. Now another Invisible Boundary, this time
Alter
from the
can't
attack,
use Dino,
and
it's
Alter
banned.
still
Top
have
left,
one
right
strat
here.
ultimate left in their back pocket,
Banned.
and Kumio form isn't up yet for Rex. So this is really just a back and forth affair of the ultimate battle between strategists.
Now, Fate of Both Worlds is going to be sort of holding on here as much as they possibly can. And they're able to sort of keep this like attack just stalled out a bit more. Like Lions
I'm
are
actually
doing
really surprised
well
they're
to
not
hold
just...
on. The Kamiho is just going to sustain it even if Rex goes down.
You gotta try something else, man. You cannot try the same thing over and over and over and over and expect different results, bro. It's not working. You gotta change, man. Where's coach at, bro?
With only a minute left, Alter Esports barely got past first. Lions have got so much control of this objective and a Rage of Ultron to maybe put this one to bed.
This was the Lions map pick, and you're just stepping into the jungle with no map and no solution, and it's just at this point you just need to be composed to know when it's time to pull back the fight. And Alter have been so good at trading backlines, but Whoops is on Phoenix and Monarch's the one on the Star-Lord, so it's been such a different thing. But what stays the same is a Mantis being removed from the Alter side as the Endsog looks to take care of an Ultron in midair. Incredible stuff from Whoops to try and trade this now 5 versus 5, but Alter needs a cap, and this is the last fight. 10 seconds left. Maybe someone will have to portal. Team captain will be on that duty. Lions hope to chase everyone trying to get into that portal, but no, it's time to return to the objective. Oh, there's no touch.
There's no touch.
The portal wasn't there.
No, bro.
Lions just win this series off of that.
No.
Oh, and Alter just falter again on the third
Lions had a
map.
really good defense, but I will say,
have, like,
what
Shinshibia to
in
rely
the
on, and it might be, like,
world?
a different team that we're seeing. When it comes
What
to,
in
like,
the
how they're
world was
packaged,
Alter
but the
Esports
Lions won
doing, bro?
again
They
as the
tried nothing
continuation of,
else,
like,
bro.
what Vision were able to do.
They
Sets
tried
himself up in
nothing.
a
They tried the
playoff-defining
same
game,
strat
frankly.
that wasn't
It's a
working
great
over and
addition of,
over
like,
and over.
Ziad coming in to sort of
Bro,
work with this. You've got
I would rather trust the people who are in my ranked games who are like, oh my god, okay, we're not winning this game. I'm just gonna go fucking Black Widow. At least I would have done something. It's change. It's different.
We got
Nah, bro.
Thatcher, yeah.